By the end of today, I might just be broke, because fans are seriously worried about Colleen Hoover. The It Ends With Us author recently posted a distressed video on Instagram, casually sipping a Diet Pepsi, and people are reading into it. Colleen Hoover is officially back on Instagram, but here's the kicker. She's removed all traces of Blake Lively. And can Hollywood please stop pushing this narrative that both sides are just as guilty or equally involved? One of them is clearly trying to defend themselves. Now, Blake Lively is back in the headlines. Sources say she never intended to actually sue, and the reason behind that statement is honestly a bit sinister, and it seriously backfired. So yeah, Colleen Hoover is back online, but she's wiped several posts. Some fans notice that all mentions of Blake are gone. Not only that, but she's not following Blake anymore, and vice versa. Some Reddit users even pulled the numbers. She now has 32 fewer posts and follows 11 fewer accounts. That's not just coincidence. People are wondering, is Colleen okay? Her recent Instagram stories have sparked concern. She appears emotionally shaken, at one point saying, "By the end of today, I'm going to be broke." She jokes about firing all her employees and retiring, but it's clear she's not in the best headspace. Let's rewind for a second. When it was first announced that It Ends With Us was getting a film adaptation, fans were ecstatic. The book had touched so many lives. It's raw, emotional, and deeply personal for a lot of people. So naturally, expectations for the film were high. Colleen had been close with Justin Baldoni for years. He had long admired her work and approached her with a vision to turn the book into a movie. Everything was moving forward, until Blake Lively came into the picture. According to documents from the amended lawsuit, it seems like things shifted after Blake got involved. Some say she essentially took over the entire production. Colleen initially showed public support for Blake, praising her for being kind, honest, and professional. But the tone has changed. All those posts are now gone. Even mentions of Justin have been deleted too. At Book Bonanza, Colleen gave a shout out to Justin, saying he wanted to play Ryle. But emails from 2019 suggest she actually suggested the role to him. That contradiction has some fans wondering if Colleen was subtly distancing herself from Justin even back then. To make things messier, Blake allegedly snuck a screening of the film into Book Bonanza without Sony's approval. It wasn't even finished being edited. Justin wasn't even allowed to attend. Instead, Blake, Colleen, and Brandon Sklenar showed up to present the film. The vibe? Super tense. The real turning point came when Blake's team filed a subpoena, demanding access to 2.5 years' worth of Justin's phone data, texts, location history, and more. Her lawyers said they wanted to expose the tactics used to ruin her reputation. In legal terms, that's what you'd call a fishing expedition. Now there's speculation that Blake never even intended to sue in the first place. In fact, Justin's amended lawsuit says exactly that, claiming she only filed an initial complaint to spark a media storm, working closely with the New York Times to spin a damaging narrative. But since she didn't file an actual lawsuit right away, he says he had no legal right to challenge or subpoena her. The public backlash against Blake was intense. The hashtag #StandWithColleen trended for days. Meanwhile, Hollywood celebs who were once vocal supporters of Blake suddenly went silent, not a word of public support. And Colleen, who had once backed Blake loudly, disappeared from social media, only to return with no mention of her. Interestingly, Blake had pushed for script changes, reportedly to soften some of the book's heavier themes, possibly to fit her brand. Some say it was for marketability, others think it was about image control. Either way, it stirred controversy, especially among readers who felt the rawness of the original story was being watered down. Even Florence Pugh chimed in, without naming names, saying, "I think it's really important to tell stories as they were meant to be told, without watering them down." Many fans saw that as subtle shade. And about the lawsuit, some questioned whether Blake could even sue Justin for harassment, since she was hired through her company as a contractor. But under California law, even independent contractors are protected. So that argument probably won't hold up. Now we wait to see how this all plays out. Will Blake Lively speak out publicly? Will Colleen Hoover finally clarify where she stands? And can Justin Baldoni navigate all of this without more drama? Because if Hollywood has taught us anything, It's that no story is ever as simple as it seems. Let us know what you think. Are these just exaggerated rumors, or is there something deeper going on?